I just have to make sure that I can only record 20 minutes at a time, so
Okay.
I can't, we're getting close to 20 minutes, so I wanted to go ahead and stop it and restart it.
Okay.
Anyway, so we were talking about the Crockford Files.
Yep.
What is there a message that you're trying to get across to people here, and how would you describe the music to people who haven't heard it?
In terms of message, I mean, Mike is our chief lyricist. He's like I say, this EP, unlike Anticipate the Fall, was more, like a song like Rise is sort of about the state of the world. This EP, I think you'll hear a lot of Mike's personal feelings and mood, and it's very emotional for him. And I think he's an amazing lyricist, an amazing vocalist, but I don't think there's a theme to the EP in full, other than just sort of trying to connect with people who have probably felt fucked over at one point in their life, which is probably everybody. So it's kind of the universal message of love, hate, death, and all of that. People will draw from what they want, but it's, I think a lot of the lyrics are very personal to Mike, but are certainly relatable to a lot of people. What we'd like people to take away from it is whatever they want. I mean, it sounds kind of cliche, but I mean, music is very personal to people, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, I respect that. But what I would describe to people who haven't heard it is, it's loud, it's melodic, it's got a lot of groove, it's got a lot of heart, and it's got a lot of real kick to it. So to compare it to something like, something that people might know is like like I said earlier, like a Helmet or a Soundgarden, maybe a little edgier than that, but it's sort of in that vein.
Nice. Very cool. Well, since we're talking about your new music, are you guys planning on any tours to support the new EP?
We don't have anything booked right now, but last winter we did the crazy thing that bands do in Canada, which is tour in February. And touring in February in Canada is, if not risky in terms of your own personal safety, it's risky in terms of getting people out. But there are places where nobody tours in Canada in February. Well, very few bands tour in February in Canada, so it kind of opens up the market. So we may do something crazy like that again. Who knows? We'll have to talk about that. But we did a CD release in Windsor 2 weeks ago. We played in Toronto with Pop Evil a couple last Friday. And that was a great show. We did really well at that show, and we love playing with bands like that. We played with Nothing More. We played with Hell Yeah. We played with Texas City Coalition.
Great band.
I mean, those shows for us are amazing because it introduces us to a whole other audience, and without fail,
to you as well.
Yeah, well, and without fail, we do. We get people, new fans out of those shows. So, so our tours kind of are a combination of, literally touring and then, sort of hitching on with bands at our touring bills. And those are always a lot of fun for us too.
Awesome. Well, do you guys have a routine, something special that you do before you go on stage or right after you get off or?
Yeah, I mean, our ritual lately has become, we stand in a prayer circle and we pray for Scott's bass rig to work. Because poor Scott has the absolute worst luck with his bass gear. So we now get in a circle and we put our hands in and we pray to, whatever God we're believing in on that day that, the bass rig works. Probably the God of Thunder would be the best God to pray to in that case. Our pre-gig ritual is really just to sort of go through the set list, talk to each other and say, good show guys, let's do this. And we don't have anything more formal than that, really.
Your shows probably feel like a homecoming to you guys because, like I said, you live so far away. So when you do see each other, it's like, hey, buddy, what's up? How you been? You get to have a lot of fun.
Very much so. There is a lot of that for sure. With the Pop Evil show, we hadn't seen each other except for a couple weeks beforehand. So it was good to see the guys again.
Oh, I bet. Sorry, I thought I turned that off before the interview. So, now that it keeps going off, I'm like, all right then. Of course, it never rings when I'm not doing anything else. You know how it is. So, do you have any guilty pleasures? Like when you get off tour, what's something that you've missed? you know, maybe you're, I don't know how to really describe it right.
No, we don't. I mean, you know, I mean, we probably have individual guilty pleasures, in terms of, you know, the music we listen to or the, you know, the TV shows we watch. But no, we don't have a band ritual. Is that?
What's yours personally? Like when you get off tour, what do you always go for?
God, I'm the token vegetarian in the band, so I always, you know, my first mission is always to find somewhere to eat other than like a Wendy's baked potato. You know, I guess my guiltiest of guilty pleasures is like ice cream.
Flavor.
Chocolate. Boring.
I like vanilla. I'm just boring.
Yeah.
As a band though, is there anything that you guys feel passionate about? Like as a whole, is there maybe one particular topic that you all feel passionate about?
No, in terms of topics, no. I mean, you know, we you know, it's funny, we've never actually sat around as a band and talked about politics, for example. We've never as a band sat and talked about God. I couldn't tell you after 25 years of knowing Scott and Tom what their religious or political beliefs are.
Probably why you're still good friends.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but I mean, you know, I mean, we're largely sort of apolitical and not really, you know, religious in that way, I guess. But you know, it's you know, the common bond of the band is, you know, just playing songs that we can all that we can write together and we can, you know, create together and that we can perform together. That's you know, it sounds corny probably, but
no,
I mean
it's I've never heard it put that way before. I think that's a great answer.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, like I said earlier, I mean, we come from such different places musically that, you know, that finding the common ground is Crawl. I mean, that literally is our common ground. That and, you know, a good night out of, you know, drinking and hanging out. We don't do that nearly enough. We got to do it a few weeks ago. We were doing some photos and video in Windsor for a night, and we went out as a band, and we had an amazing time. And we don't get to do that enough because of distance, but it always comes back to, you know, just the love of the music and being able to sort of sit in a room with each other and play it.
Right on. Well, is there any advice that you would give to today's aspiring musicians, considering you've been around for 25 years and seeing how it's changed?
Well, I would actually like some advice from bands, like younger bands that are making it today, because, you know, it's not like the old days. When we started, you know, it was you know, you did a demo, you tried to get a major label deal, you tried to get managers, you tried to get publishing deals, you tried to book tours through agents and all. Like that was, you know, you did it that way, right? You know, when we reformed, the landscape had changed significantly, and self-releasing music and the whole world of major labels had changed radically. You know, major labels are very small now. They don't, you know, own the market the way they used to, and a lot of bands are making it just by, you know, either lucking into a good video or something that goes viral, or having a really catchy song that someone just hears on YouTube and says, "Wow, that's amazing." I mean, you know, these were not options when we started. You didn't put a song on YouTube and hope someone important heard it. You had to actually go knocking on doors, and we did a lot of door knocking. It paid off. I mean, we did relatively well. So I'd actually like to flip that and hear from bands giving, you know, old guys like us advice on how to make it in the music business these days.
If you have any advice for them, let them know. We'll go ahead and tell everybody it's going to be on Vegas Radio Australia, SROMagInc.com, that is INC, and it will be on EvieStarMusic.com, and that's spelled EVIE. And it will also be on our Mixcloud accounts as well as our YouTubes. My personal YouTube is EvieStarRocks. SRO Magazines is SROMagInc again. So you can rewind, pause, play this as many times as you need to get those. Theirs is Crawl Rocks for everything.
Yeah.
Website Crawl Rocks / Crawl Rocks every account, which makes it very cool. It's a lot easier to find you guys that way.
Yeah.
Any shout outs that you'd like to give, or say anybody you want to say hi to or anything?
Sorry, any what?
Shout outs or anybody you'd like to say hi to?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've made some great new friends since we reformed the band. You know, a lot of the bands that we played with back in the day are no more. But we've made a lot of great new friends. Like I mentioned, a guy named Chad Valier earlier, who introduced us to he's got a band called Valier, Valyear. Check them out; they're awesome. He's just getting a new drummer in shape, and then he'll be ready to rock some more. There are a lot of other bands. A band out of London called Swerve that we've played with a few times. I'm going to get killed because I'm going to forget a whole bunch of bands, so I'm just going to stop, because if I mention a few and don't mention them all.
Shout out to all our band buddies.
But also to, you know, we also have to give shout outs to our friends and families who, you know, put up with a lot of, you know, we're at different places in our lives now, right? Like, you know, a lot of guys in the band have family, and you know, it's you know, to get away and, you know, record and play and tour and do shows out of town and all of that stuff. You know, it's a lot to ask of them, and they've been super supportive. We've got some amazing family and friends in Windsor who, you know, who we wouldn't be doing any of this without them, because every time we do a show in Windsor, you know, 200-300 of them show up, and that's always amazing. So so it's a lot of bands. We'll I'll solicit the guys, and we'll get a list of bands together, and we'll share all their links and things, because there are a bunch of bands that we would like people to check out for sure.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's pretty much all I have for you. So I just want to say thank you for the interview and for talking to me, and I can't wait for you guys to get to America so I can actually see you play.
Yeah, we would love to if anyone out there can help us with some shows. What's that?
Come down to the other Florida.
Yeah, the other Florida for sure. We'd love to. I mean, we played in New York last summer. We went down to Long Island and played in Twisted Sister's rehearsal space, which was kind of interesting. Nice. For an internet radio show. With a bunch of other very different bands. That was kind of cool. But so yeah, we'd love to come down and play some shows there. We'd love to.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I will keep spinning your EP on my show and making sure to help you get the word out there.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. That's
no
great.
problem. Our pleasure. Will you take care, Stuart? And again, this is Stuart Green of Crawl. Make sure you check them out at Crawl Rocks. Thank you for talking to me, Stuart, and you have a great day.
Thank you. Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's it. We're done.